Hey guys, so we're going to work on something called internal shoulder rotation. So this way, this is external and this is internal. And we're going to try and give you an exercise to get more range. I'm going to do it on my knees here. So it can visualize, you can do it standing, you can do it on your knees, you can even do it seated depending on what your body can allow, right? We're going to put both of our hands behind our back. So you're going to have your fist behind your back, and then we're going to come into whatever our end range of internal is. So a lot of us, we're going to be here on our lower back, and to get a little bit more range, we're going to inch slowly up. So depending on what your internal range is like, you may be up here and you may be here. Wherever you are is totally fine. So you're in behind, fists are touching, and I want you to slowly inch your way up. What you're going to feel is a stretch through this whole front of this capsule, the shoulder there, maybe a little bit in the pec, etc. And what we're looking for is that end range. So I'm going to put my hands where my stretch is. Everybody go to where you are. Then relax your shoulders and almost allow your shoulders to come. And you can see, think about your elbows coming forward, and that ekes out more stretch in that tissue. I want you guys, when you're trying to acquire new range, do this for 2 full minutes. We sit here passively in 2 minutes. As the 2 minutes goes, you might be able to actually move the arms up slightly or move a little bit. I'll show you from the behind so you can see. So my hands are here, fists, and we're actually at this end range. If your end range is here, that is totally fine, wherever it is. So what we're gonna do is we hang out here for 2 minutes. I'm gonna do 1 minute so you guys have it, but actually when you're doing it yourself, make sure you do 2 minutes because tissue doesn't start to let go till then. And if you want to acquire new range, you need that 2 minutes, right? It doesn't mean 1 minute isn't gonna do anything. It's absolutely gonna help. But when you're really trying to acquire new capsule range, 2 minutes minimum, right? So we're gonna hang out here. We've done about 1.5 minutes actually, so it's not too bad. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna solidify where my arms are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and drive my fist this way, which is going back into external rotation. So I'm going to try and reverse out of internal, but my back is going to stop me. So my back will be the limit, and I'm going to do both at the same time. So go back to our position. We're going to take a breath in, trap air in that lower abdomen, radiate tension. I'm going to start to push into my back. I want the shoulders to stay where they are. So I'm ramping up this tension, 20, 40, pushing harder, 60, 80, greatest effort into your back, holding that for 10 to 15 seconds. If it's actually max effort, you will not be able to hold for longer than 10 to 15 seconds. Hold, we're going 5 more seconds, 3, 2, 1, and rails is you're trying to lift your hands off your back. So the goal is you keep your arms where they are, but they're trying to lift off. So I don't want to see what I just did there? That's actually me moving at the shoulder. I want to solidify, and I want my hands to try and move internally a little bit more and trying to lift off. So we're just trying to get the regressive or shortened tissue to strengthen there. When we strengthen both the lengthened and shortened tissue, we acquire new range. Holding again for 15 seconds, and then relax, take a breath. Now, after we've done a full set, 2 minutes, ramp up to your max effort Pails or contracting tissue you're lengthening for 15 seconds, and then your rails, which is your tissue you're shortening, for 15 seconds. We want to go again. Always, 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 if you can, if your tissue can tolerate it, do a second set or more, but at least second, because you open up about 15-20 degrees of range, and you then want to go there so you can actually use it. If your tissues are really, really tight, maybe 1 will be all you can do. But if you can do 2, go ahead. Listen to your body. If 2 is enough, that's great. If you can try maybe 3, depending on your tissue, you will feel sore after this, but that is normal. We are lengthening capsule tissue. So I've hung out here for another minute. And what I want to do is you could always inch up a little bit more. You bring the elbows forward just to intensify that stretch. Then you do a second set of Pails. So you start to push that hand into your body, ramping it up to your greatest effort, 20, 40, 60, 80. And this is an isometric where we don't actually move. So we're tensing all of our tissue internally, but we are not actually moving. Hold that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Solidify and think about lifting off those hands off your back. Hold again for 10, 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it relax. So we're going to let that draw down slowly. It will feel a bit sore because we're really working that end range. If you have a shoulder problem, then be wary of this exercise. Listen to your tissue. If you have a shoulder impingement or issue, this is ultimately what you need, but you may have to go much, much slower, and you may not be able to do this one on your behind your back. You're gonna do a side sleeping shoulder one or something like that, which you can see on my YouTube channel. Right, then the last thing we're gonna do is a couple reps of our bilateral shoulder cars to just solidify what we've done. So we're gonna come all the way up, we're gonna lift, and we're gonna rotate, reaching internally, trying to go back to all the range we have, extending, going all the way up towards the ceiling, pulling back around and down. Do a few reps of them. You can do some capsule cars. Good, working on that internal and external to just solidify. So if I go from the side, just doing that cars with tension. Give that a try and let me know how it goes.